Yo, what's good, YouTube? What's happening? New viewers, at ease, returning viewers. This is that man, short and bald dude here, coming at you with another new presentation, a new vent, you know what I'm saying? Bitching about life and whatnot. I'm just trying to get shit off my chest, you know? And I'm gonna dive deeper into why I feel like life is pointless, especially as a short, bald man. The bald thing, it actually really doesn't bother me that much as people would think. And I think I attribute this to the fact in my anecdotal experience, women have called me handsome despite being bald, so I'm grateful for that. I would never take that for granted. I would never, you know, try to willingly appear, ungrateful for that fact. I'm appreciative, but 99% of the time, it doesn't matter at my height, At 5'4", even having a decent face, it's not going to compensate, okay? I think everybody knows that by now. But anyway, I just see life as pointless because when I was growing up as a child, I always figured the point of life was to get a good career, eventually find that lucky lady, and procreate, essentially, right? So, it's not like I never had women before. I have. Just very few and far between. Like I said, I said in a couple earlier videos, like I went on very long dry streaks without women. Okay, so it's not like I'm not aware of what it's like to be homeless, to not have a bitch or whatever, you know. And I always figured like ultimately being fulfilled in life, I would need to have my own family. I wanted to start my own, and knowing I'm pretty much locked out of that. Of no doing of my own, just having the wrong genetics is brutal. It's just, I was slighted in life, and I can't act irrationally on that. I can't crash out. Although, yeah, I've thought about it. I've thought about it a couple times, and I feel like I'd be justified if I were to crash out, but no. I remain rational. I remain level-headed, or at least level-headed to the general public. To the public eye, I try to keep my composure at calm and normal, but in my head, a lot of things are going on in my head at any given time, understandably so. So I just thought I would be more fulfilled at this point, at this age. When I was in my younger 20s, early 20s, I figured I'd find someone and we'd live happily ever after, have a child or two. I don't know. I guess that was just wishful thinking, though, wasn't it? Unfortunately, that didn't come out to pass because, obviously we know why, but and then I think of the hypotheticals, right? Let's say I do find someone. Yeah, obviously, she's going to be short. And we already know the repercussions of potentially making another short male child in society. Some people aren't privy to the knowledge, right? Such as taller men, they wouldn't understand where I'm coming from, where I'm going at with this. Luckily, so And so I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place because it's already hard enough finding a woman in general. But just knowing that that woman is likely going to be short, which in turn is likely going to doom my son or my potential son. Now, obviously, height doesn't matter for women, but it's a very unfortunate situation, obviously. And I'm just trying to navigate this absolute chaotic mess of a life I have. And don't get me wrong, I'm doing financially well, but everything outside of that, my mental health and all that is it's in a rut. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I might seem like I'm reserved and have my head on screwed right, but I'm spiraling mentally. And this isn't to say that I'm gonna do anything drastic or what I mean. We're not gonna be on some ER shit, but my mental health has been depleting as the years go past, right? And I'm just trying to find other things to fill the time being while I'm still here on this planet. You know what I mean? So I feel like there's really nothing to look forward to nowadays. You know, um, I say I'm money maxing, and people assume I'm getting money to appease women, to impress women. That couldn't be farther from the truth because, truth be told, I can't even begin to describe how I feel about the opposite. I'm not even gonna finish that because So, attributing me trying to better my financial circumstances and ultimately better my life for woman of all things, after all the rejection and downright negative treatment that I've gotten, you think I would do that solely for woman? Nah. Nah. Nah, and I'm trying to be respectful. I'm trying to follow the YouTube guidelines, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. No. I have other things that I'm interested in, apart from women. I like traveling, I like tattoos. I made a YouTube post recently showing I have an entire back piece. I have my entire back tattooed. I made a YouTube post on that. So, there's other things that I'm doing with money that involve money. Not everything is about women, is what I'm getting at. But I just wanted to put this out there. Y'all leave me your thoughts. How do you feel about money maxing? Do you money max? Do you think about your financial future, whatnot? And at the same time, I can't even fucking blame y'all if y'all don't. If y'all don't, some people are just they want to make enough to live. I think I made another previous video on that. Some people just want to get by. They want to make enough to live. You know what I'm saying? Be cool. They don't want anything in excess as regarding their finances, and I can respect that. When you're I think they phrase it excess man. I get it. You know, doesn't make sense to slave for a system that genuinely doesn't even want you alive or respect you as a mere human being. So I understand that, but yeah, I'm gonna end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have, please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. And I'll get back to you guys on the next one. This has been Short Bald Dude here. Deuces. I'm out.